Audio routing has never been easier than it is now, and that's because Elgato has finally dropped the full release for Wavelink 3. That means that anyone can use it. And no, it's not locked behind Elgato hardware either, because you can add any input that you want. This app lets you consolidate your audio in a single place, create outputs and mixes as needed, add your VST plugins in, and best of all, it's completely free to use. Oh, and it works with both Mac and Windows. No Linux though, I'm sorry. RIP Linux users. Windows, by default, has a clunky audio setup that gives you one primary output device, and all of your system sounds are kind of thrown together and sent to that, unless you deliberately tell Windows otherwise. And if you want to swap devices, either for that individual app or for your listening purposes overall, you have to go in here and do it. And that gives pretty limited control, and also, like I said before, it's just so clunky. But Wavelink simplifies and streamlines all of that by giving you something called a routing table, and it looks a little something like this. You can add input devices like microphones and software audio in their own channels, and then route those inputs into a mix. In practice, the mixes function as a new virtual input device, and I know that sounds confusing because it's an output from the app, but all in all, this just means that you get a new audio device listed on your computer that you can use elsewhere. And that lets you do pretty particular things like adding in special effects onto your mic, and then routing that adjusted audio as a new input in an app like Discord. It also lets you group things together into a personal mix, like what you listen to, and then maybe also a stream mix, which is what your viewers would listen to. And if you're a VTuber with a little buddy like myself, you can also make them their own mix to use as an input device in VtubeStudio. But one of the best parts is that it becomes even easier to control when you have a physical device added in. So no more alt-tabbing to fix your audio. Bugbot, now is not the time for that, buddy. Literally the same image twice in a row. Urethra. Okay. And it's backwards. Love that. Thank you. So no more alt-tabbing to fix your audio, since it's fully functional with Stream Deck. And that means that you can control everything that I just mentioned with single button presses or with the scroll of a dial. So if all of that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get started. To get the software, just go to Elgato's download page and download Wavelink 3. And like I said before, this does work with Mac, so if you're downloading from a Mac, just make sure you're downloading the Mac OS version, and likewise for Windows as well. Before you install, just know that when you do, you're pretty much handing all of your audio over to Wavelink 3 on a silver platter, and that means that you're going to lose audio until you set everything up again, so you will need a few minutes at least to fix things up. But if you lose audio, don't crash out. It's part of the process. After downloading, you'll just follow the regular installation process by running the exe file for the installer on Windows, or if you're on Mac, you can drag and drop it into your applications folder. Once installed, go ahead and open it up. And if you have an Elgato device plugged in, you will be prompted to get the device set up. If you don't, of course, you can skip ahead, unless you're just curious about the new Mark II product setup and new features. You can see that Wavelink has already recognized my Wave XLR Mark II, and I can simply click through the setup process here to get everything up and running. But with the new Mark II products, there will be a section talking about the auto gain feature, which if you choose to use, either by clicking proceed here or by holding down the button for 5 seconds, you'll then be prompted to speak for a little bit, and it will automatically adjust your gain to your voice and your environment. When you're done with the basic setup, you'll have a dedicated slot in the UI up here for your Elgato devices. And for the Mark II devices, you'll want to go up here and configure some stuff. That's because they have onboard DSP effects, which you can adjust at any time in the effects tab, though you can also adjust voice tune specifically from the device directly as well. These will make your mic sound really good with very minimal effort. And since they're on board, the processing happens before the signal reaches your computer, so the delay is near unnoticeable when they're turned on. The low cut filter will remove rumbling sounds from your mic, and then the expander functions somewhat like a better noise gate, so it will get rid of background noise, but it won't have as much of a hard cutoff and won't affect your voice as much as a typical noise gate would. Voice tune, which is the one that you can adjust with your XLR interface, adds compression and harmonic distortion to make your voice sound pleasant, similar to analog sound, and then you've also got a compressor and EQ. The compressor helps soften loud noises, but there's some compression built into voice tune, so you don't really need both of them on. And the EQ will just fine-tune certain frequencies in your voice, like adding extra bass, removing shrill noises, or adding or removing airy sounds to your voice as well. If you don't know how any of these things work, I recommend going and looking up a tutorial on those, unless you guys want one from me, Personally, I could do that too. I just feel like there's so much of that already existing that you could probably find it with a quick search. Elgato devices will also have access to voice focus for free, which if you want but don't have an Elgato device, you can also pick up as a VST for 50 bucks. If you want to know how that performs, I do have a whole video going over how it works and stress testing it, but you can add that here before your VSTs for free if you do have an Elgato device. To add additional VSTs though, you will need to go into your settings and make sure that Wavelink can find your VST folders. If the folders here are right, you're good to go. But if not, be sure to add them here and then hit the check for plugins button so that they can get them loaded in. And then after that, you would need to open your mic channel up, add the plugins in, configure them individually, and then order them as needed. With Mark II products, you will also have a VST insert, and that means that you don't have to make a new mix to output the mic with effects into another app. It'll just be integrated in automatically. And you can also choose whether or not you want to listen to your mic with or without those effects as well. If you don't have an Elgato device, you can just head to the Mixes tab and create a channel and add in your device here. And yes, you can also add VSTs to these inputs as well by clicking the waveform icon next to the device. Like I said before, I'm not going to cover that in this video since other people probably do it better, but you will just want to add VSTs similar to what the Onboard DSP effect on the Mark II products are, so you'll definitely want something like some EQ, some compression, a noise gate, noise suppression. You get the idea. And a lot of those are available for free on the Elgato marketplace. Unlike with Wave Mark II, you won't have a VST insert, so you will have to route your device back out as a new mix to have it take effect in other apps. Before we cover that though, let's get the rest of our inputs set up, and then we can talk about how mixes work. You can add individual apps as channels, but it's way easier to go about this if you add an empty channel in and use those pre-made channel names as guidance for grouping apps together. So let's start with the voice chat channel. Once made, I can click on the channel, and then under the apps section, you can add in any app that relates to voice chat. So things like Discord or Discord alternatives. You can change the name and icon here as well if you want. If the app you want to add isn't showing up, make sure to play a sound from them first to get it to register on the list. And then after adding it, you might still not be able to hear it, so you might have to restart the app as well. Similarly, I can go ahead and add in my games channel, and then anytime I open up a new game, I can quickly pull it up in the games channel and add it here. And then that way, if I want to control the game volume, they're all controlled from the same knob or the same channel. I will quickly time lapse and add in all of my channels, and if you want to follow along, go ahead and do so. Once all of your apps and inputs are added, we're ready to make some mixes. Your first mix should probably prioritize like being able to hear your apps again. So let's name this our main mix and click the plus next to any of the channels that you want to be active in your listening mix. So that's everything but my mic in my case. And I will say, since I have the Wave XLR Mark II, I can just mix my mic in to hear it myself. But if you're using a non-Elgato mic, you could add your mic here as well and mute it. And then anytime you need to monitor yourself, you can quickly unmute to check, and then mute again. But I'm leaving that off since I can just use my monitor mix. With the mix ready, you can pick your listening device from the drop down in the top right, and then click on the ear button at the top of your mix column to start listening to that specific mix. I'll also make a chat mix as well, and this will include everything as well as my mic. This mix can then be used as a single source in OBS for really quick and easy streaming audio. Although if you want, you can also use the individual channels themselves as sources in OBS. So if you want them to all be on their own separate tracks, that's still possible. The mix function, as I talked about in the intro, can also be used to output single channels with whichever VST plugin adjustments you want. And that's really great for when you don't have an Elgato mic and you need to add things like a noise gate, compressor, or EQ on and send that mic signal back out to be used as a new input source in other apps. If you do that, you'll simply add a new mix, name it accordingly, and then add only your microphone to it. And after that point, you should be able to pull up that new microphone source with those VST adjustments in other apps like Discord. And then of course, if you have a little buddy like I do, you can route whatever single app you use for their voice into its own channel as well. And that makes it so that you can use their voice as a mic input in something like VtubeStudio so that you can use that input for their voice parameters. And last of all, yes, this is functional with Stream Deck as long as you're using the Wavelink plugin for for Stream Deck. If you're interested, you can pick that up from the Elgato marketplace. This gives you access to buttons and dials to easily control all of your audio channels. Obviously, you can throw in each individual channel on a dial and easily adjust your desired volume, or completely mute with a press. But if you have more channels than the 6 dials that the Stream Deck Plus XL can accommodate, you can also opt for a cycling dial as well and swap between those channels with a click. But if you don't have a Stream Deck Plus XL or a Stream Deck Plus at all for that matter, you can still use Stream Deck keys to accomplish these things. It'll just be a little bit different, of course, so things like volume adjustments might be split between 2 separate buttons. But that's awesome if you're on a budget and want to pick up something like a Stream Deck Mini instead of one of the absolutely massive Stream Decks. Thank you, Dr. House. I've personally been a longtime user of Voicemeeter, and even with Wavelength 2, I've used it to manage my audio outputs simultaneously and properly route Bugbot's voice using a patch insert. And I have to say that with Wavelength 3, I really just don't need it anymore. It fulfills all my needs that made Voicemeeter a necessity for me in the past. So now my trio of audio software can easily be combined into one. And it looks good and it's easy to use. So I'm really thankful for the Elgato team for working so hard to get this pushed out, especially for free. I mean, it's kind of crazy that it's for free. I don't know how they're managing that, but I'm very thankful for it. So I hope you give it a try, because if you do, it's just gonna make your life easier. So get on with it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.